Hi YouTube family, it's Jessica. Today we're going to make some soap, and this is the soap that I'm making. Measuring out my solid oils, such as coconut oil and palm oil. And that's what I'm doing here, is measuring out the palm oil. It comes in a microwavable bag from Brambleberry, and so sometimes it's a little hard to get out of the container, so I have to put quite a bit of effort into it, as you see. And the measurements when making soap have to be very precise. So as you see here, I'm doing it on a scale, and I have my little digital reading out to the side so I can tell where we're at as far as weight. And then you'll see me here doing two separate measurements. I'm measuring out the lye, making a couple different batches, fragrance and styles and whatnot, so I have to measure their amounts separately. And again, it's very important to do it by weight, so that's why and I clear out my scale in order to have it accurate as far as weighing the plastic cups that are here. And then I, for this particular soap, use a coconut milk or use a goat milk, depending on what, and I freeze the cubes, and then I add water to it to make up the difference to get the levels exact, and I had accidentally put too much water. And what I'm showing you here is argan oil. It is one of the ingredients in this particular soap recipe. The argan oil makes the skin very soft. And argan oil is quite expensive, and so this particular batch ended up taking two bottles, which is not shown on here. And I continue to measure out my liquid oils. And now you'll see me using a handheld blender. I tapped it like that in order to get all the bubbles out, and then I'm adding my lye water and milk solution. And then I'm just going to blend this until it is what you would call a very light trace. I don't want to over blend it because I have to add color and fragrance yet, and so I want it to be pretty thin. Now I'm going to take out two different amounts, one for one color and one for another. And I will point out that I forgot to wear gloves in order to do this. It is important that you wear hand protection because lye is what we call very caustic, and it will burn your skin if you get it on. And when you saw me look at my hand, it's because I had gotten some on my hand, and so I immediately washed my hands, and that's what I was doing when I took the break. Now I'm adding the coloring. And this pink that I'm adding to it will actually turn into a brown, so it'll be like a bluish green and a brown, two-tone brown color. And as you see, that's got some white stuff floating in it. What that is titanium dioxide, and it will lighten my batter. And as you see, as I stir it in, it looks more like vanilla pudding, and that's the way it's supposed to look. And as the soap cures, it will turn a darker brown because of the honey that I use in it. And I've also added honey, which I did off camera. Basically, I'm going back and stick blending it until I get a consistent texture that I'm looking for in order for it to set up properly. I tap the stick blender in order to get the bubbles out. And then mixing the color in. And here I decided that I needed to add some titanium dioxide also to this pink in order to get a different hue. So I added about a half a teaspoon. And then I will begin doing what they call an in-pot swirl, where you just kind of pour the color from up high to get it down lower into the container. I'll do that with the blue as well, and then I'll give it a stir, and then I'll pour it into the molds. think that color is so pretty together. I'm just topping off the molds with the little bit left over, and then I'm going to tap them on the counter in order to get any bubbles that might be trapped in there. And I have to be really careful with this soap because it does have honey in it, which accelerates the heating process, and you can get some really funky looking soap if the batter's not cool enough whenever you start. And I call it batter because that's, to me, it's the easiest way to describe it because it kind of looks like batter. And then basically, once I get done with this part, I'll make a little design on the top, like a little well, and you'll see here how I made the well, and I put oatmeal, sprinkled it on top, and that's how my soap turned out. I didn't get cutting it on the film, but maybe next time.